So, it's been a few years since I've actually done archery, and I thought, anyway, I'll try and set it up with you guys, and I might not be able to shoot it because we don't have that much of a garden, but I'll give it a go. So I used to do archery like about 3 years ago. I started about in year 9, and I did it for like a solid 2 or so years, but then I'd sort of had quite a few health issues and I had to stop doing it for quite a while. And then in year 11 I was sort of never motivated to do it because I wanted to focus on my studies, and then the same happened with college. I wanted to focus on getting the A levels that I needed and the grades that I needed to get into uni and get into college with my GCSEs. So it just sort of like fell away from me. It was quite like a relaxing sport, like because I didn't have to do like any strenuous exercises doing it. Because I know a lot of people can't do like boxing or whatever, and they don't like violent sports like that. But archery is still sort of like a sport. It's still getting me outside, breathing fresh air, stretching my back, building some muscles. It was really fun and calming to just sort of like stand and breathe and aim at a target and then shoot a really pointy sharp arrow on it. I decided to get it all out again and try and set it up and maybe get back into it because I know that I'm going to be inside a lot of the time staring at a computer screen when I'm not at work, because I'll either be doing the online lessons or finishing off with tailored tutors or just looking at Duolingo now. I've started doing Chinese and French. And then I'll probably be doing gaming, and I've been spending quite a lot of time on my Switch playing Animal Crossing, so I don't want to burn my eyeballs out completely. And I also suffer from quite a lot of backache when I sit in the same position for a very long amount of time. So the next 7 months being sat on the same chair in the same position every day that I'm not at work is not going to be good, and I need to try and strengthen my muscles a bit, considering I'm not going to be walking and all that jazz. So have any of you guys picked up any new hobbies? I tried yoga, but it didn't really suit me, so obviously I'm trying to get back into archery, and then I've just been gaming and working and reading a lot of the time. But I think if I am going to start doing archery again, then I can't really let it end how it did last time. Like, I really enjoyed it, but I felt when I was like, when I finished originally, when I recovered and I was a lot better, I actually went back a couple of times, but I felt a lot of pressure. Like, my anxiety was quite high after I was ill for that period of time, and I didn't feel as comfortable doing it because I felt pressured to compete and enter a lot more competitions. Because I was getting older and I wasn't really doing as much with it, but I was just sort of doing it for the sake of enjoyment and not for the sake of I want to enter a competition and I want to win all these medals, and it was just sort of, but everybody expected me to do that and I didn't want to do that. Because the reason that I'd actually started archery was because I was feeling quite pressured and I was in like an awkward situation. My mum actually put me in for the first class that I had of archery when I was struggling quite a lot, like with friends and socially, and it was just a nice escape from the pressure of having to do interactions and do school work, because I've always been quite intense in it, and this was the first type of escape that I'd actually enjoyed other than being sat at a computer or sat behind a book, and it gave me something to focus on other than high school work. I'm just watching myself here put this stupid arm guard on. If any of you do archery, or if any of you are interested in maybe starting archery, 100% make sure you have a good arm guard that fits. No arm guards ever fitted me, so I have like a weird bone structure, like my bow arm bone sticks out when I'm aiming, so I double up. I have a velcroed one that we had to cut the velcro off because it was the smallest one, but the velcro was too long, and then I put the other guard-on over it to try and reduce the bruising, because if you have ever had the string of a bow whack your arm, it is not nice. It is the most painful thing ever, and that is the only downfall really that I ever felt when I was doing archery. And I know some of you are probably thinking, why are you showing us a video of you setting up your whole archery kit, and why are you going on about archery as for us to start doing it when we're in quarantine and we can't go out and buy a bow and arrow and we can't go to a class to learn how to do archery? I'm just sort of using this as my example as to what you can do outside in your back garden as fitness, instead of going to the gym, or instead of going for a run around the block when you could come in contact with people. You can do loads of sports in your back garden. If you have a long enough garden, you could do archery. If you have a bit of a path and you have a ball, then you can do a bit of a kickabout with football. You can play some basketball. You can probably bounce it off the wall back and forth at you. It's just sort of like the idea of getting outside for a bit of fresh air, but not with people. And it's also sort of like the whole idea that to set yourself a goal and to set yourself something that you enjoy doing, and have something that motivates you to get up in the morning when we don't really have any semblance of time in a day anymore, because I've completely lost my sense of time. Just listen to this sound next, it's amazing. It's just so soothing. I also thought I'd show you my finger guard and all like my accessories and stuff, because a finger guard is very important, because you're pulling back a string at an 18 poundage bow, which I think mine is, then you'll lose your fingers. I've also got this is to like make sure the string's straight. I'm not sure what the actual name of it is. My team and my favourite pen, which was made from one of my original arrows that I broke. Thank you very much. I used it for like scoring and stuff. Then I have the few accomplishments that I did. It's the score that I got and then the distance I did it at. So I got 20 and 30 yards. In here I have my arrow puller, because when you're shooting an arrow at very far distances at a high poundage, you can't always get your arrows out. I then have like a little unicorn that I won at one of the competitions, and I also have another arrow puller which I preferred when I was doing it before. So this was me setting up all my old archery equipment, and I hope that maybe I've motivated you to try and go outside and do a bit of exercise in your garden. Stay safe.